Alright guys, today on Stirring the Pot podcast, we're making killer pasta, also known as Pasta Assassina, known for its spicy character. This is going to be cooked a way different way than we normally cook pasta. This is going to be a little bit weird, but I guarantee the results for this guy are going to be fantastic. I'm going to show you how to do it. Of course, we're going to add a little bit of our own flair to it, you know. I can't keep anything traditional. Alright, so here I am starting off. I'm sauteing some onions and shallots. I'm going to get a little bit of color on these. So not going to go too dark, but this is going to be my twist on it. I'm going to put a little bit of caramelized onion and shallot in here just to kind of boost the flavor of the tomato broth. So I'm just sauteing this around. You're going to take this really slow. Just use a nice medium to low heat. Well, medium to high heat. And here you see I got it going. Just cooking it. You know, you just want to get some nice color on this. It smells awesome. I love the smell of shallots and onion cooking in oil. Man, there's nothing better than that. So we're going to get a little bit of color on these. It's going to take not too long. I'd say about 10 minutes. It's about how long this process took. So here you go. There I have it. I got them caramelized. Just the color I wanted. Not too dark. So the next step is going to be adding the rest of our flavor enhancers. And we're going to start off with a little bit of some calabrian chiles. That's going to be my spicy element in this Pasta Assassina. These are pretty hot. They kind of taste like a Tabasco pepper. Got a nice fruity taste to it. Pretty spicy though. I got these from Trader Joe's. If you don't have them, you can just use red pepper flakes or cayenne pepper. Now here I'm adding about 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. We're going to cook that in the oil. That's really important to cook your tomato paste to get flavor. And here I had my another secret ingredient, a little bit of anchovy paste. This is a real flavor boosting. It gives a lot of natural flavor enhancers. So we're going to cook this around and just get this nice and melded into the shallots and onions. You know, we want to get a little bit of cook on it. Here you see I have the cook. Now I'm going to add my garlic last because I want to cook that the least. Just enough to waken up the flavor. Not too much cook on this garlic. You do not want to brown it. So, you know, just cook that for a couple minutes. And here you go. I also did add a little bit of green onion whites to this just because I had them laying around. And, hey, that's just more flavor to add to it. So I went ahead and put them in there, guys. So now we're going to move on to the next step of making the broth. Okay, on to the next step of making our tomato broth. So I'm going to use some moody passata. This is just a tomato puree. I'm going to add this to my little stock pot. I'm going to add 2 of the same volumes of water to this. I just showed myself adding 1, but I used 2. Because we want this kind of soupy. We don't want this very thick because we're cooking the sauce down with the raw pasta. That's the trick to this dish. So we want this a little thin. So the next thing I'm going to add is I'm going to get my sauteed onions and shallots. Nope. I'm going to get my bone broth first. Sorry, got the order wrong here. But next thing I'm going to add is going to be those sauteed shallots with onions with the tomato paste and the chiles and the anchovy paste. I'm going to add that to it just there. And all we're trying to do is get this warm. We don't really need to cook this really any at all because all the cooking is going to be done in the pot. So here's me just mixing it together. That's it. I'm just bringing it up to temperature, getting to a nice low simmer. That's what the brand I'm using. Really good brand right there. Highly recommended. So we're just going to get this all together and put this on like a medium heat just to get it to barely a simmer. Now it's already been cooked. I got it hot. Breaking out my favorite tool here. We got the immersion blender. You know I love this thing. So I'm going to use that immersion blender just to get this to a nice smooth consistency. So when we cook our pasta, we don't really have any lumps that'll burn or anything like that. So that's going to be my what I'm going to do. And that's it. So once it's to that consistency, we're pretty much ready to start cooking a pasta. Now I'm going to add some of my favorite Cajun seasoning, Gaspard's Cajun Heat. My buddy Shane makes this stuff. It's outstanding. I highly recommend it. Guys, y'all get y'all some of this stuff. It's really good. It's going to give us a nice flavor to our dish. All right, so now I'm starting off with some olive oil in a 14-inch skillet, which I'm going to add my dry pasta to. Dry pasta, guys. This is what makes this dish. We are going to cook this dry pasta with the tomato broth. That's what makes Pasta Assassina. It's a little bit different of a technique, but I can guarantee you this is one of the best pasta dishes you have. And I'm using burrito pasta. You don't want to use anything really expensive, guys. Just a regular cheap box pasta is fine. Don't need anything fancy. So what I'm going to do first is I'm actually going to toast up this pasta, which I've done right here. I just let it cook on the oil for probably about 4 minutes. And I just got it nice and toasted till the surface of that pasta looks a little blistered. Now I'm going to add 3 ladles of tomato sauce, my tomato broth, while making a mess on that glass top stove. As usual, can't avoid it. So we're going to cook this pasta in the tomato broth. That's what we're doing. So that's why we don't want to salt our broth too much. And that's where all the cooking is going to happen with our pasta. So here's me adding some more. You're going to have to add more broth in the beginning because it's going to absorb a lot of liquid at first. But you'll slow down with how much you ladle in. And this whole process is going to take about 25 minutes. So it's a little bit of a chore, but I can guarantee you the results for this are absolutely incredible. This is such a unique pasta. It's got a way different character than you would normally expect out of pasta. Here it is. It's about halfway done. Almost there. So I'm just going to keep cooking and keep adding sauce. That's all you have to really do is keep cooking, adding sauce until the pasta is the texture you want it. That's it. So I'll show you what it looks like when it gets closer to done. All right. So the name of this game for the first part of the cooking, we just want to keep this moving to get all the pasta cooked to where we want. I'm adding more sauce here. It takes I actually used about half of this the batch of sauce I made for about 1 pound of pasta. So I didn't need to make that much, but hey, better to be safe than sorry. So here I am just cooking it. Just got to keep cooking it. Now I'm going to start to let it sit a little bit longer on the bottom. As you can see, the pasta is going to start to the sauce is going to start to caramelize on the pasta. And that's what we're really after. We really want that caramelized sauce on the pasta. It's almost... Now, some people take this a little bit further. I've seen chefs make it to where it's almost black. I really don't do that, but you can see it's starting to brown pretty heavily. That's what we want. That is Pasta Assassina, or at least my version of it, the Cajun version of it. So just keep doing this. So basically, this pasta is pretty much all the way cooked. I'm just really just trying to brown and caramelize this sauce that's still on the pasta. So I'm just going to let it sit on the bottom. Flip it every couple minutes. There we go. I'm going to be flipping it again. And I'm just going to keep repeating this pasta, letting it sit on the bottom and letting it caramelize. So I think I have this on about a medium high heat. Not too hot. These glass top stoves are tricky. I hate this thing. I really need to get a gas one, but got to work with what you got. So that's pretty much it. So right now, that's almost done. That's what we want. We want that pasta sauce to look like that. We want the noodles, the pasta to have a nice, it's going to have a way different texture than you can expect from boiled noodles. So it's different, but I guarantee you this is one of the best pasta dishes you'll try. Now I'm going to finish this off. I'm going to add a little bit of Pecorino Romano to this, and I'm going to add some parsley. And that's the finished pasta. There you go, Pasta Assassina. All right, so we're just going to mix everything around. That parsley is going to give us a nice fresh taste. That pecorino is going to add a little bit of cheesy flavor, some umami, and a little bit of salt because it's pretty salty. So there you go. Just mix it all around, get it all nice and incorporated, and we are ready to plate our Pasta Assassina, or killer pasta as it's also known. Hey guys, if you like this content, please like, comment, and subscribe to Stirrin the Pot Podcast. All right, there you go. All right, guys, we got Pasta Assassina right here. I'm gonna give it a try. See what this is like. I've made this a few times. I did a meatless version of this, but if you want to add sausage or whatever you want to it, feel free to. Chicken. That is really good. A very unique taste. Got this concentrated, caramelized sauce taste to it. Absolutely delicious. Y'all give this a try and keep stirring that pot.